Good morning, everybody. It is Nemi Batstone here at Nemi's Crafty Cafe. It is Wednesday morning, April 3rd, I believe it is. And I'm coming from you from Cooks Creek, Manitoba, 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. Today, I just wanted to jump in and do another quick coffee break share with you featuring the pets and more. And actually, this one is a fun one because it was inspired by somebody else, one of my fellow demonstrators who I also, sometimes create with, Laura Barkman. Like, have you ever been cleaning your room? I was cleaning out my craft room and going through a bunch of cards that I found, and because I keep every card somebody sends me. And then I found this card and I was like, wow, I remember this one. Stampin' Up used to sell a similar sweet collection that made coffee and things like that, slightly different from the Latte Love. And I thought, oh, this is great to make with the Latte Love, and I'll bring it back and highlight one of her products because I forgot how cute it actually is. So I'm just going to make sure we're set up here, and then we'll just hop on. I'll start creating with you. Now, just a quick point, it is April, and so just a couple reminders that if you are a demonstrator, pre-order has already been open, and I hope you've had the chance to pre-order as much as you want or can. And there's amazing in colors, new bundles, and if you are ever interested in actually becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator, there is no work. I'm telling you that my whole team, including myself, are hobbyists, and we love to just get together, create together, and also reap discounts. And the other great benefit, obviously, is to always make sure that you can get all the sneak peeks ahead of time. So that's the other bonus. Okay, it looks like I'm good to go. So if you are catching the replay, don't forget to comment replay. And by Friday, if whoever replays or shares this video and comments, I will put your name into a draw and you'll win today's card and I will ship it to you. Okay, who doesn't love cards in the mail, right? Okay, so let me flip you over and we will get started. And anytime, if you have any questions about Stampin' Up! And its products, then feel free to post it in the comments and I will always respond as well. So I'm just going to take it over and flip you. And here we are. So this card shouldn't take too long, but it was a lot of fun and I really liked the bright colors. So, oops, it's shaking. So once again, we are using the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper and of course the Pets and More stamp set. So there is my host code for the month. So of course, if you order with me, you will get free gifts in the mail. So if you would like, you place a $45 order and I'll send you these 3 cards that we're making this week. And if your $60 or over, I usually try and send you some bling. But this month I will send you a card kit from my Love Latte class. And every month I host a card club or a craft club, really, Stampin' Club, whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't always involve cards. There's usually a 3D project. Sometimes I share scrapbook pages as well. But I will show you, these are the cards that we will be creating. But because it's also my birthday, you get 4, you're also going to get an added card, which is or added project, a 3D project. And then on top of that, because it's my birthday month, I have 3 to 4 additional cards to add to the tutorial for you. So you won't get the cutouts for those, but it's just more bonus cards to create with. And they all feature the Latte Love stamp set. So you will need the stamp set. I do all the die cutting as much as I can. I didn't die cut when you require to stamp these because you can just fussy cut them as required. But I will die cut all your little teacups or coffee cups for you and put them inside of there. And like this one here, it's all stamped. So I'll just give you scrap to stamp all of that. And then you will get the spoon, right? And then again here, I'll just give you a scrap piece and you'll get the die for that one as well. So you get and you will have to cut your own designer series paper. So for club classes, I don't cut your paper for you. But if you just want the kit, I will, and you get the kit price, then I will cut all your strips for you and just send you that. But normally, if for club at the $45 mark, you get everything and you will have to cut your designer series paper. So you have extras afterwards to create along. Okay, so what did I do and what did I create? How was I inspired? Well, I was digging through my stuff and I found this card, which was sent to me by Laura. Let's see, make sure. Yeah, Laura Barkman. And she is a fellow demonstrator here in Winnipeg. And we hold each other accountable. We talk, we vent, we create together, everything. So I've known her for years, and then I found this, and I was like, wow, I remember this set from years ago. Hang on, I just have to have a sip of my coffee. My throat's getting a little dry. So I recreated it using the Latte Love. So this is my version here, using the Latte Love and bundle, and of course the designer series paper, and created this version. So then now you have very similar. I use a different hatch. I tried different embossing folders, and this one was probably the best one. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I do to create this into Pets and More? So then I took the same inspiration and created this card, Pets and More. So same design, two different projects. So two different looks. So you'll have to tell me which you like better, this or that. I know that's probably not even a fair comparison considering the fact that they're two different styles and colors, but maybe you like the more tone on tone or monochromatic as we like to call it, or you like the bright, which is this one over here. So let's get crafty and create this card, and I will show you how I created this one. I'm going to twist it a little bit because I added well, I'm not going to twist it too much, but I just want to show you how I created this little guy, this little sentiment. And then I was still debating whether or not I should put a pretty peacock border on there. And this is the basics 3D folder that comes in a set of three. And these are I think they're called hobnails. And I'm not too sure if I like that or not. So I'm gonna change that one up a bit as well. So let's get started. Coffee break is only so long, right? Okay, so we have petal pink, and like I said, I switched out. Did I trim this yet? No, I didn't trim it. So I switched it out with the hobnob with the hatch. So just so you know, oh, it's called hobnail glass. This is why I label my embossing folders. So it comes in a set of, oops, wrong one. Comes in a set of three, these three right here. So I have the hobnail glass, then there's the flowers. I guess it's kind of hard to see. So there's flowers, which is this pattern here. Little difficult to see. When I first saw it, I thought seashells, to be honest. And I debated on using that one. And then you have your hatch, right? Your hatch. And then, of course, your hobnail glass. So that one's a little more obvious. And because these are 3D, you can actually flip them and use them on either side, whichever one you prefer. But I always like to have mine raised up. Okay, so I did that already, but I didn't trim it. And then we have a bunch of scraps. So if you remember yesterday's card, we used this pattern and then I had 2 inches left over. So I'm like, perfect, I'm going to reuse it. So 1 6x6, two cards. Perfect. And then everything else are just scrap pieces, which is here's the other piece from Lighter Than Air. So I had a scrap piece, see, same pattern, other side. And we've used up a whole 6x6 sheet in two cards, using two cards. Okay, so I'm going to get my sample out of the way so we have room. And then I'm going to score this at 5.5, of course, right? So I'm doing a tent fold card on this one. And I do kind of like it more, but the problem is when I package your kits, it's a little more difficult to work with. However, now that I fold them over, it's a lot easier. So I don't know if you know, but our envelopes have gone up in price. So I am trying to figure out how to make that work without having to increase my pricing. Um, I usually like to use envelopes because then each one of your cards fit in there. Each set of all your pieces fit in there, and then I don't have to worry. But now they are going up in price, so I will have to do some adjustments to try and keep my pricing where it's at without having to make you have to pay more. So I really don't want to get rid of the envelope option because then I'm like, how do I kit everything for you and keep them in there nicely without having to lose all the pieces? I mean, it's doable, but not fair. Then you'd have to go buy your own. So there we go. So all I did was standard layer. I'm just going to drop this down a bit so you can see, get a little closer. There we go. Standard layer, and it is your typical 4 by 5 1/4. So we put that on there. Now I'm just gonna touch up the edges with a bit of ink. So I'm gonna add a little bit of technique. Now I've noticed my petal pink has gone a little yucky already from too much use. So I'm gonna grab a brand new dauber and we'll turn that one into the new petal pink one. I like to have daubers for every color. So then that way I don't accidentally transfer anything over. And then I just add a little label around it so then I know which color it is. Because sometimes it's not so easy to tell which color is which. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper here and we're going to keep that so I can peel the label off. And then we're just going to grab some ink. At the same time, I'm going to clean my ink pad because it looks a little dirty. Yep, we're good. And then working off, we're just going to clean up those edges. Now, what you also can do, which is what I did on the last one, is you can also grab your scissors if you want, and you can rough up that edge so that it's got a little more texture. And roughing up the edge can either be used with just a pair of snips or scissors. You can also just use, what do you call it? What's the name for it? Oh, nail file. That's the other option. So you could use a nail file and just rough that up as well. And then you just get a little bit more of a, more like a 3D or a more textured card front that actually has a little bit more life than flatness. So, and you can put this on here as much as you want, as little as you like. Maybe you just want to do the little edges, or I'm just gonna I'm cleaning this off at the same time because the downfall is you're getting all those little shaved pieces coming off. So we rub off the edge so that we don't get too much ink. So rubbing off the onto scrap paper here. Now, if you have the Stampin' Up! Glass mat, you just rub it right off onto the glass mat or any glass mat. I prefer not to use mine on here just because my table is just kind of wobbly. It's not a very strong and sturdy table at this moment. Still redesigning my craft space, and I think I've changed my table design for crafting 4 times already. So, like, literally, as in going from a folded table that I can pull in and pull off to sturdy kitchen island to movable to, oh yeah, it's just been insane. Okay, can't make up my mind. Okay, so there's our layer. So now it's got a little bit more life to it, as you can see. And now we have to add in this piece. So at this point, I think I was gonna actually, I put the pretty peacock because I wanted a little pop, but then I also felt that it worked better in threes. But now I'm thinking about it and going, does it really matter? So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. And in the end, I might just add it in. So we're going to need a piece that is 1.5 inches wide. I think that's what I did. So we're going to go, so this is almost there. So we're going to go 1.5 inches wide, right along the top. Now, obviously, this piece is too long because it's 6 inches. And, yep, then we get a 1/2 inch on the other side, which we're going to keep and use for the inside. And then we're gonna go 4 1/4. So we'll just flip this and go 4 1/4 inches long. And then I'm gonna keep this piece so we can make a grid pattern or quilt card with the other scraps. So look at that, three cards with one 6x6. Impressive. I'm not gonna put that away yet. I'm gonna make sure this is the right size. So this one's about 4 inches. And then I took a 2x2 square of scrap white, and we're going to stamp and create our own designer series paper. And I'm going to grab some crumb cake and the footprint, the paw print. So this one is the fox. Yesterday I did the cat and shared the dog. Just making sure I'm good here because I thought I saw, yep, there's not good. And so today I thought we would use the fox. Now I'm just going to randomly stamp. Now I do like making sure whenever I create my own designer, oh, series paper, that's no good. I always like to make sure that I put everything in a square. So meaning two crosses across from each other like so. And then I'm going to stamp in the middle on the other side. And then one over here as well. Maybe I'll go this way. It kind of creates that equal spacing. And then I will do another square over here. So then I have my opposites. And then another one up here. So then you start, oh, or in this case, let's get that other paw in there. And that's okay because, oh, look, I like that. Looks like he partially stepped into something. And, or she, shouldn't say it could be a female fox. And then now we just fill in where we can. So maybe we'll do a half paw over there. Okay, so there's our patterned paper. So we created our own designer series paper here. Woo-hoo. And now all we have to do is stamp our little fox as well. So do I have our fox ready? No, I do not. Okay. So we're gonna grab the fox. At first I was like, oh, which one's the cat? And I said to my husband, I was like, what kind of animal do you think this is? And he goes, the cat. And I said, well, no, that one's the cat. That can't be a cat too. And he's like, it looks like a cat to me. And then I was like, okay, I gotta do a little bit of research. And then I looked it up and I'm like, okay. And a lot of people were saying it's a fox. So I was like, okay, it's a fox. So of course these are reversible, right? But because this one has a lot of fur on it, I don't believe I needed the reverse look of it. So we're going to grab Calypso Coral and stamp our little fox. Make sure there's a lot of ink on there. So I always like to do a quick sample because of the fact that this has a lot of ink coloring through it. Hey, that didn't turn out too bad. And this is a polymer stamp, so you want to make sure you have foam or underneath it so it can flex. Now my table mat already has a piece of foam, so I'm not too worried, or has sponge in it, I should say, to allow it to pop up. So just make sure you put your piercing mat underneath if you don't have anything. And there's a cute little fox. So cute. I'm going to clean my stamp right away because I don't want to get ink everywhere or wreck it. There we go. And there's something fluffy and white paper on there, so I want to get rid of that as much as I can. And I should have fussy cut this earlier so that we save some time. But I didn't. But this one's quick, so all we're going to do now is just fussy cut him or her, however you like to refer your fox to be. And again, just remember you're turning the paper, you're not turning the scissors because your snips are super sharp and precise and also small enough that it can get into all the grooves and just maneuver as you turn your paper. And it will do the rest for you. So you're just going to turn And turn again. And we're almost done. So these are pretty easy to fussy cut, including the dish bowl. So don't worry if you don't have punches or dies for it. And this stamp set is only available online on my store. So just shop the store and don't forget to use the host code so that I can send you gifts. Okay, so there we go. There's our other piece. So now we need the little circle. So I've got a scrap piece here that I was playing with yesterday of Pretty Peacock. I wanted something bright because there is or bold, I should say. So there is a ton of great colors in here in the subtles and brights mixed together, but I wanted something a little more bolder that made that stand out. So I was like, what color can I use? And I went with Pretty Peacock because I do love it. So this is our large circle punch, which is 2 3/8. So that will fit the fox and that'll go right there. So all we're missing now, because we have all our pieces, is our sentiment. And I was going to pre-cut this for you, but then I wanted to show you a trick that I actually do. And you're going to need either some repositionable tape or some scotch tape. So I pulled out, instead of using, yesterday I used the postage, yeah, perennial postage. But because we were playing with the Latte Love, which was inspired by this, and by the way, you need to sign up for my club. I thought we would use the hello there and put let's catch up. And I thought that was perfect, sending out this hello, then catch up. But then I was like, I only need these words, so how do I not get those ones? Right? So we're going to do a little trick, and we're going to take our tape, and we're just going to cover up those little words. Now, just remember, and that you shouldn't have an issue. You don't want to stamp it right away right after because then you got to remove this tape is what I'm trying to say. Make sure you remove the tape before you stamp. Okay, so I think, okay, I'm going to try and, I made this tape, I think, a little too long. But sometimes I use my repositionable tape and put that on here, but then I'm like, that's it's not expensive because repositional tape is cheap and easy to use, but I'm like, it's better to just use normal tape because then I don't waste my repositionable tape. That's just me being frugal. Okay, so we're gonna add Pretty Peacock so that I get that bold sentiment in there, and we're gonna stamp this. So just hanging off the edge. Now I just thought, oh, we could have also used our right marker, so maybe we'll use that for just the little words. And make sure we got everything on there. I think so. I'm yapping at the same time, so I want to make sure I got everything. Peel that off, toss it in the garbage so you don't get it anywhere because remember it's wet. Oh, right now it's stuck to my finger and now I got ink all over my hand. Lovely. Okay. And then we're just going to stamp that on there. I missed just a bit on the tops, the tips. And oh, now I got a line through there. So I want to make sure I don't get that line. I still got a line. Great. Okay. I think we're okay. And then I'm going to stamp that. Hopefully I get it. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, I didn't stamp properly. Terrible. Look at my terrible stamping. So let's try that again. Good thing there's a flip side. What did I do with my tape? It's right here in front of my face. Hello. Okay, let's try that again. And I already got Pretty Peacock ink all over my fingers already. Toot, 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 toot. Tap, 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 tap. And make sure that looks okay. Yep. Get this guy off. Stay off my fingers, please. Static is pulling it towards all my other fingers. And let's try that again. What? I keep forgetting that little bottom piece. Okay, let's get another scrap. I'm not winning here, folks. So here's where you get to see the errors in action. I don't know why I can't get that button. Let's use removable tape. Probably because I'm live. I had no problem doing this yesterday. So I don't know why all of a sudden I'm having trouble today. Okay, so yeah, I made this card yesterday afternoon and I had no problems. And now today I'm struggling. So there's my repositionable tape because I'm tired of trying to get that ink off my finger. And it looks like we're good. So that down there, because I can see it's still white, we are good. I hope. Okay, let's try that again. Round 3. So lots of lessons learned here. Yes, we finally got it. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my mini here. And oh, I put away my plates. That wasn't very smart. That's okay, it's nice and close. So we're using the stylish shapes dies to create this one because these are a little fatter. So in height wise on this, I'm just gonna raise this up a bit so that way uh, we can see. There we go. So I can fit the emboss and cut machine here. So we're gonna bring the mini guy in, and then I have this stylish shaped die. Now it's a little bigger than what we actually need. So this is where I want to show you my little trick. So I like to take this, I'm going to turn this a bit so you can see better. Oh yeah, there we go. And you'll see that there's a lot of wasted edge on there. So what I'm going to do is position this where I want it on the one side. Hello there. Hello. Oh, I thought I had a piece of tape there. Isn't we were looking for? Okay, now we will hold that in place. Make sure I'm somewhat straight. And then we'll run that through our mini guy here. Mini boss. Okay. And should have worked fine. Oh, I'm getting ink all over there. It's probably because it's all over my fingers. We'll clean that up with the glue erase, or the ink remover. Okay, so now it's like, oh, it's funny on that side because I purposely don't really care. So now all I'm going to do is shrink this and put this on the other side. Now, because it's a stitch die, it has all those little holes in there. So you can feel when it locks in place and reposition it as you like. So once it's locked in place, because you can feel the holes line up in those stitch lines, you can now put that down, and we're going to customize our own stitched sentiment banner. And then we're just going to run that through, and I don't need to run it through all the way because I just need that one edge. And now this piece pops off, and now we've shrunk and made our actual sentiment to the right size that we actually need it. Perfect. Now we're going to use this tape again. So I'll get this guy out of the way for us. And now we have our little sentiment, and you can just take your ink eraser and just get all those little pieces of ink marks wherever you may have had them and remove them. So I have one right here that's just a little stubborn and I'm trying to get off. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna need that piece right here. So now we have all our pieces ready for the front. So this time I'm gonna see what it looks like without that border around this. And hopefully it's still pretty. So we're gonna add our glue to the back. Now it's just literally assemble time, right? Now you don't need a lot of liquid glue. This holds really, really well. I see lots of people who just cover the entire back, and I'm like, this glue is so strong. Don't waste. Make the most of it. Now this one will go here. So I'm gonna be a rebel here and go rogue on my own design. on my own copy and share everything design, the one that I've cased, and just put that there and see if I still get that nice look. And then this one goes here. So making sure I've got the right pattern laid out. And now, not too worried either about the glue on this part because this is all getting layered. So if you don't put glue in the middle, don't worry about it because you're just layering on layers. So everything's going to end up sticking together and covering and holding it down anyway. So then we're going to put this one. Now I'm going to have that roughly there. So I'm going to use the angles as my guide and just put the little paws right there. And then we're going to pop this one up. So there you go. Yeah, see, I don't know. You tell me. Write in the comments if you're watching the replay if you think this needs to be framed. Because does it pop? Yes or no? So here it pops a little bit more than it does on this one. So that's why I framed it. Now we'll add some dimensionals on the back of this. Usually I use black, but because we're going on dark on light, doesn't really matter. But if I was using two darker colors, then I definitely would use my black dimensional. And then we're just gonna pop this, and I'm just making sure my sides are even or somewhat even. And then we're gonna pop our fox on there as well. Or you could just glue them down, but I want them popped up so I can tuck that sentiment underneath him if I need to. So we're going to put him in the center. Super cute. And then hello there just goes right there. So see, I'm just going to tuck him right underneath there. So now we only need two dimensionals, one on each side. And then the rest will tuck underneath his little bottom, his tail. So put that there and just center this on the card as you like. And so it should be somewhat centered along the bottom. So I'm just going to turn this a little off, move that a bit more, and we should be somewhat straight. There we go. So there is our card. Now I was like, oh, do I add embellishments or what? But then I decided, oh, well, let's use a Baker's Twine 3-color combo pack. So this has the Flirty Flamingo, Lemon Lolly, and as well as this beautiful blue. I think it's, is it boho blue or balmy blue? I can't remember. And I believe it's balmy. And so I thought, oh, let's add a little bow because he has no collar like the puppy. And I thought that would be kind of cute. So I had some scrap pieces lying around in my little package here, as you see, because those were all from last month's stamp club, card club, craft club. Oy, I gotta get the name right on that. Still trying to decide what makes sense. And we'll just put that there and give him a little bow. So you could put that wherever you like, but I wanted to give him a little like tuxedo kind of look. So now we're just gonna cut these down. I'm just gonna cut them a little longer for now till I get there. And then I'm gonna take a mini glue dot and add that to his little neck there. Ta-da! Now he's got this cute little bow. We could have put glasses on him as well if we wanted to. Because if you still have the old hippo set, that has glasses in it. And we're going to tie this and make it small. So, if your bow is a little too big, you can just pull on those as long as your mini glue dot allows you to. And adjust as required. And I don't want super long tails this time because it's his, kind of like his own little necktie. Okay, there we go. So now all we need to do is finish the inside. So I have a piece of white, and remember how we didn't use the other half of the sentiment? We'll use that here now. So I'm going to grab a pretty peacock right marker. So these are our 2023 new core color right marker sets. Now I believe they are going bye-bye, and you can get the discount on them. because then we're getting our new ones in. And oops, we got to make sure this is nice and clean. Did I clean it already? I don't remember. Because if it's not clean, then you're going to get that hello there on there. So I'm just going to clean that up. And then I'm going to check and make sure it's clean. Because, don't need that anymore. Don't need this anymore. Move out of my way. Don't need that. And I'm just going to check by pouncing this on here. And you can see it comes out clean. So we are good to go. Now let's see if this works. So I'm going to grab my right marker. Doesn't matter which end you use. Make sure this is pretty peacock. And we're just going to color in the small word. Let's catch up. And I thought that is a perfect phrase for a fox, right? So he's going to come catch you, and we're going to catch up by having some coffee, maybe meet your friends at the coffee shop, send this as a card, whichever works best. You know, great reason to get together. So we're going to stamp that. Hopefully I'm straight. And there you go. It says, let's catch up. Perfect. Love it. I'm going to clean this because now I'll remember I cleaned it. And then we're going to grab that paw again and a little bit of crumb cake. Or you could use petal paint, I guess. We could have did that too. And I'm going to stamp, but I'm going to go second generation. So I'm just going to stamp off. And then I'm going to add a little paw here and just say, hey, yeah, let's catch up. Make sure I get that all around. And it says, let's catch up. Perfect. So I have room to write to Dear Who. Hey, are you available for coffee? Let me know. Give me a call. And then love, Nummy. Ta-da! Then we'll just stick this here on the inside. Now remember we had that strip? We have this. So we can add this to the inside of the card. Yes. And we're not wasting. So I'm going to stretch it across the entire card. So I'm not going to trim that down just yet. And then we're going to put this here on the inside. So you can put whatever size you want, or you could just leave it blank if you like, because petal pink you can actually write on. So you don't have to put another layer in, and we're going to stick that right there. So we can use either side, but I think I'm going to use the stripies, because it just reminds me of foxes. Excellent. So we're just going to add this here, put the other one right there, and then we're just going to trim that. So that should hold pretty good. Love our liquid glue because you can just adjust as required. And now I have this little bit of extra here. And now we just trim it off. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So again, we have our two designs inspired by Laura Barkman. And there's our coffee one that I used to create this card. And then here's the first one that I made. So we made a couple adjustments on that and I put a pretty peacock here that was an 1/8 inch bigger. So this is 1.5. So this is 1 and 5, 1.5, 1 and 5/8. So then you just have that little 16th inch around. And here I took it off. So I think I personally do like it with the trim around it because I think it just pops out this layer here of designer series paper. Then we also created our own, and this is the back side. And then we have our two little foxes with the bow, and then our own customized stitched banner. And then, of course, you open it up, and then you have Let's Catch Up with the other piece. So there you go. 2 cards using a 6x6. Either one stands either way. So you can see the 2 differences. They're just works both ways. I do like the tense look. It's a lot easier to work with, I think, when you're displaying it. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you would like to get this stamp set, remember this stamp set is only available online. It's not in our catalogs, as well as the Latte Love one. So get those bundles and I'll give you a free card kit. Now, if you'd like to sign up for our class, my class this month, which is going to be at the end of the month. So I am kitting up these earlier. I leave for Hawaii mid-April to celebrate my birthday. So I would love to send these kits out to you before I leave. So please sign up and register. The link I believe is above. And if you have any questions, just message me or email me or text me, and I will definitely get you registered. So I hope you enjoyed that. So that's two cards we've created with that. And I will try and hop on again tomorrow morning around coffee time, around 9 a.m. So thank you for joining me today. And if you can, just post on here the that you watched the replay, and then as well, if you shared, that would be fantastic. And again, keep on stamping, and hopefully we see you again soon. Happy stamping!